Hello everyone, this is Chris, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing video of the Tech Kimber Royal II. Supposedly full steel, but it's not. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later on in the video. So anyway, let's get to it so you don't get bored. And I guess I should say this is an unboxing video because I've already had it open. I've had it for about 2 weeks now, and so yeah. So this is basically what it came in. The only other thing that was on here was a layer of packing paper. And so to me this was fairly poorly packaged, and I was a bit surprised that they would send an $850 gun in just one layer of cardboard box. But so like I said, Tech Kimber Royal II, and there's the actual product number. There's nothing else on the box, it's just a plain cardboard box. And inside, let's see if we can do that, we have the wooden box that it comes in. Pretty nice finish. I don't really care about the box that much, you know, it's a nice extra feature, but plastic hard case with the foam padding would have been sufficient for me. I guess I would have preferred that. One thing that annoyed me was because they packed it in only one layer of cardboard, the box is actually damaged right there. It's been hit against something, so that's kind of a shame. Like I said, I don't really care about the box, but I just think it's kind of poor to send out the product like that. It's got the Tech logo on there and a little brass hinge. To me, that looks kind of crooked. I don't know if I'm just being picky, but and then on the back, same thing, brass hinges, nothing on the bottom. So I guess we're going to open it up and take a look inside. And once you open it up, let me just refocus the camera here real quick. There we go. So what you get, in my case, I ordered it with the CO2 magazine. And this is a standard KJW 1911 CO2 magazine. It's compatible with the Inokatsu 1911, the Tech Kimber, KJ 1911, and KJ MEU. So, you know, standard magazine. The only thing I don't, well actually there's two things I don't like about it. One is that it's got a huge hole in the middle. Obviously that's to fit the CO2 bulb. Not really much they can do about it, but it kind of takes away from the look of the magazine. And the second thing is the gigantic bumper they put on it. There's about an inch of space right there that they could have worked with and pulled up the bulb all the way up there and reduced the size of the bumper. So those are my only complaints with that. Obviously you'll need a CO2 magazine to power this thing because the slide is really heavy. Anyway, that's the magazine. You get the standard KJ disassembly tool for the 1911. And in case you don't know, the gun is based on a KJW MEU pistol. So that's why you're getting all these accessories with it. That's from KJ. So that's that. You get the hex key to install the CO2 capsules, fairly standard. And you also get the world's smallest hex key, and that is to loosen the hop-up adjustment wheel, because in the first batch they noticed from customers that because of the recoil of the pistol, the hop-up would actually come loose and adjust itself. So there's a tiny hex screw on the wheel that you tighten down to make sure it doesn't move around. And then finally we have the gun itself. I like the inside of the box. The foam is really nicely cut out, nice and sharp, and it's glued into place to the back so it doesn't move around, and you know, fits the gun perfectly. First thing I noticed when I opened the box is, of course I already knew this when I ordered it, but I absolutely don't like these grips. I think they're horrible. Firstly, or mainly because the flat and smooth finish of these things don't provide a lot of grip texture when you hold the gun. And again, because being full steel, it's relatively heavy, so you're going to need all the grip power that you can get. So I've already purchased, let's see, 4 additional grips, and basically that's the quickest and easiest way to change the look of the gun. So I got a pair of real wood Hogue grips, and then I have 3 operators polymer grips, one in black, tan, and what's the other one? Brown. So as you can tell, we have the Kimber logo nicely engraved right there. It's really nicely deep engraving. And then of course the finish of the slide and frame, absolutely amazing, I have to say. It looks great. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but there's already some wear on here. So, like I said, I've had it for 2 weeks, so I've been racking the slide and whatnot quite a bit. So there are some minor marks on it already, but not too big of a deal for me. So one of the issues with this gun is, in RA Tech's original video, when they launched it, they clearly present it as being full steel, and they point to the gun and they say everything you see is steel, all steel. And the funny thing is, when he does that, he actually points right like so. And so I'm like, okay, cool, it's all steel. And then they cut to another sequence where they have the pistol or the steel parts laid out onto their pool table, and I was like, I was looking at that video a couple of times, and I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't look right. When they presented on the pool table, taken apart, several items were missing, and I was like, well, if it's full steel and they're presenting the steel parts, where's the rest? Because the hammer isn't on there, the grip safety isn't on there, the thumb safety isn't on there, and the mainspring housing isn't on there. And again, because he says everything is steel and points to that section, you would assume that those parts were also steel. So once I figured that out, and I had, at this point I already had my order placed for the gun, so I wasn't going to cancel the order. Firstly, because it's a custom gun and I had to pay in advance. So anyway, I emailed RA Tech and asked them about it, and I said, I asked them, is the mainspring housing and the grip safety steel? And they said, no, they're not. And so I was like, well, okay, that's strange. And around the same time, I've gotten in contact with another guy who had just bought this gun, and I asked him about it, and he didn't really know. All he could say was it's metal, but he didn't know if it was steel or not. So, and then I emailed Tech some more, and finally they told me that no, the grip safety and mainspring housing are not steel. They're going to release an upgrade pack. That sounds completely ridiculous for an $850 gun. That's also being advertised as full steel. So anyway, I was like, okay, fine. And then when I actually got it home, I started looking it over in detail, and like the hammer, that's a KJW MEU standard aluminum hammer. The thumb safety, again, KJW MEU aluminum. Same with the grip safety, mainspring housing, magazine release, and trigger. Those parts are all KJW stock parts for the MEU. And at this point, I'm feeling kind of, I've been cheated on this gun. It's being advertised as full steel. They tell me it is. I also, in the emails to Tech, asked about the internals, and they were like, no, they're all steel. One of the first things I did when I got it was I field stripped it, took a quick look, and to me it looks like KJW stock internals. The disconnector, the valve knocker, and the gas reset pin, or whatever you call it. So opening the box and finding out all this information, I was less than impressed. Despite the fact that it looks beautiful, it feels really nice, and like I said, the frame and slide are absolutely top notch. The other thing that I found out when emailing Tech is that the slide catch, thankfully, is steel, because otherwise that would have been chewed up after a couple of rounds of locking back the slide, But I'll get a close-up of this later. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a dimple right there where the slide catch connects to the rod that goes through to the other side, and that looks like kind of a welding defect that they didn't fix, and that really bothers me. It just takes away from the look. If you want it to be as close to the real steel Kimber Royal II as possible, there's a couple of things that are incorrect. The grip safety, the thumb safety is supposed to be non-ambidextrous, only on the left side, and it's supposed to be a Kimber safety. This one has a slightly different shape. The grip safety is supposed to be a Kimber style grip safety. It doesn't have that little extra bump right there. It's kind of not flush, but it doesn't go out like that. Mainspring housing is supposed to be checkered, not serrated, and it does not have the lanyard loop on there. I'm not sure if I mentioned the hammer, but the hammer is a different style. I believe the shape is similar, but it's supposed to be two-tone stainless, I believe. I'm not completely sure about the hammer, but and the magazine release is supposed to be checkered to match the slide catch and the mainspring housing of the original. And finally, the trigger is supposed to be the 3-hole trigger, and not this one. Again, standard MEU trigger. So all in all, at this point, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, wow, I paid $850 for a slightly upgraded KJW MEU. Yeah, I'm going to pause right there and resume the video in a bit, because I'm running out of time on my DSLR camera here. I can only shoot 20 minutes at a time. So I'll be right back and we'll take a closer look.